yeah, it really helps you see things in perspective. I think we lose perspective when we are in momentum and we're going forward with our careers and checking off things. But we, again, stop and smell those roses, realize that things are actually moving forward. I think we don't see that. I know.
I've had the pleasure of interviewing a number of people in the surface pattern and art licensing industry over the last 3 years on this channel. And I'm doing a series where I take clips from older interviews called Interview Gems. And today I wanted to provide a clip from an interview with Jeanetta Gonzales. And if you don't know Jeanetta, it's time to get familiar because Jeanetta is really a powerhouse in the art licensing and illustration world. She has illustrated books. She has major clients like Target and Michaels and Facebook. And she's such a wealth of knowledge. She coaches artists and does, a lot for the community. So definitely check out Jeanetta if you're not familiar with her. Today in this clip, Jeanetta is talking about 3 ways to build your confidence as an artist. And she also addresses a question that I get all the time, which is how to deal with waning motivation. When you're sending out your pitches and you're not hearing anything back, when success feels like it's too far away, like you're never going to get to a place that this is sustainable, what do you do? And Jeanetta answers that question for us in this interview. Be sure to check out the description where I also have a link that goes to Jeanetta's download for confidence building exercises that she has. So check that out because that's a really great resource as well if you want to build on some of the tips that she talks about in this interview. So enjoy.
I feel like a lot of designers new designers chalk it up to lack of experience. Maybe they look at someone like you or someone like me who has been doing it for a long time and say like, well, of course they're confident because they have been in that situation. But the truth is that everyone goes through confidence highs and lows, of course. Do you have any confidence or mindset tips for designers who are working to get their careers off the ground?
Yes. So I have a lot. I'll just give you a few today. So I would say the first thing is really understand your why, right? And you hear this a lot in you do branding and marketing and stuff like, what is your why? Where's your why? And I kind of avoided that for a long time. I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing, right? But honestly, once I dug into this, and I still do, because you have to go deeper and deeper into it. Why are you making this art? What is it about it? Like, yeah, maybe you're feeling called for it, and maybe it makes you happy, but really, how does it make you feel? Why are you doing it? Because once you identify that, then it's a no-brainer. It's like, I'm going to make art because X, Y, and Z, because I want to be an artist. And this is why I want to do this with my career. This is why I want to feel good every day about getting out of bed and working. And whatever those things are for you, those are motivators, and that's going to keep you going. So really dig into that question. Like, why is it that I want to do this? Why is it that I want to create this new career or this new body of work? Okay. So once you figure that out, or just continue working on that too, because that won't come.
Yeah, that'll kind of keep coming around. Yeah.
Right. But keep that in your mind while you're like, once you're feeling down, oh, I can't do this, you want to give up. It's like, no, hold on. There's a reason that I started this. There's a reason I'm feeling I need to do this. So once you identify why, another thing I do with people is, and these are deep questions, right? These are things to think about.
Take a little time. I'm trying to think right now about my why, and I think I have some ideas, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely something. Sometimes it feels like it's easier to get the superficial stuff, right? Of like, I want my work on products because that sounds awesome, but why do you want the product? Why, so I see what you're saying.
Exactly. And then because you might lose vision, your sight of your vision, right? And this is the next part, your vision. What is this vision for your life? I have people literally write their vision, their dreams, their big picture dreams, their, blue sky lifestyle. Like, what is it you really want? How do you see yourself working? What kind of clients are you attracting? What kind of projects are you doing? Like, what is this amazing, amazing career and life that you want for yourself. Like, how much money are you making? Like, write it all out, dream it up real big. This is the manifestation part of it. And this is also the part that you need to tap into. It's going to fuel you. It's going to juice you up. It's going to get you excited. So once you start writing this vision out, it's really just kind of becomes this thing that you need to strive for. This is where I want to go. So this is why I want to do it. And this is what it's going to look like. So once you kind of, now you have this like life that you're wanting to create, you're clear on where you want to go. And now once you start writing that out too, a lot of things start to fall into place. It's like, oh, now I see it. There's clarity here, and your vision will change. Maybe like you thought you wanted to do this, but over time it'll change. But these are things to keep in mind while you're working, while you're creating, while you're building your career, because you have to know where you're going, right? You want to know what you're striving for. And then you can also make a vision board. I love them. I think they're amazing. So if you make a vision board for yourself, you can even just do it through a little journal. And then also you can just do it on a piece of paper. You can do it digitally. You can make it through Pinterest, whatever it is, but put visuals to this vision. So it'll really, really solidify that in your head. I love vision boards. I think they just do so much. They help you get so clear. So now you have this why, you have this vision board. You have to be patient, and you have to really, really be patient, because at this point it's like, I want all this now, right?
I know, yes.
It's
a slow build. We all know that it's a slow build in this business. And I think that those suggestions are amazing, and those are so important. I feel like I want to start journaling right now, like forget this interview. But, it is so true that you need to get clear on those things. And those are the big overall umbrella ideas that you need to think about. And then I would just add, like, from someone who's getting started, like the macro, that's like the macro. And then like the micro things that you can do are to remember to celebrate those small successes that you have. Keep your confidence.
How did you know?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay.
No, I want you to talk, because I can piggyback on that. So go for it.
I was going to say you have to celebrate those small successes, because, like, obviously it's going to take a while to get to that, as you said, that blue sky lifestyle. And so things that happen each day or each month, let's say, that are exciting. And even if it really is like, I sent out an email, like, to a potential client or something, like, that's a success. It doesn't matter about hearing back, whatever happens, not hearing back. It's about, like, you took a step forward. Like, that's awesome. You should celebrate that, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, got it. That's it.
I think so.
And then how you celebrate that is what I was getting to, is that you actually make a win list. And this is part of the worksheet that I'm going to have for you. So the win list is, you need to write these things down, or they're going to just go out of your head, and you're going to keep moving forward, and you're going to get stuck on another issue, stuck on another problem. And that's going to pull you back. So what pulls you forward is to remind yourself of what's going on that's really going great in your life right now. What are you grateful for? What are you winning on every day? Like, oh my gosh, I got through this amazing I got through this amazing to-do list today, and I've reached out to these potential clients that I really want to talk to, or whatever it is. Those are the things I think that you need to be writing down. So there's a win list, small wins, big wins. It doesn't matter what it is. You can write it every day. You can do it once a week. Yeah, it really helps you see things in perspective. I think we lose perspective when we are in momentum and we're going forward with our careers and checking off things. But again, stop and smell those roses, realize that things are actually moving forward. I think we don't see that. I know at the end of the month, I'll look at everything I did, and I'll be like, what the heck did I do this month? Like, I was so busy, but what did I really do? And just so I can go back to that list and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot about these 3 amazing things that happened, or all the stuff that I was able to accomplish, even though it didn't really feel like there was a big win at the end. It's all building towards something.
So we've talked a little bit about what might happen if you get a rejection, and if you get feedback or a yes, obviously you move forward from what they're saying, but we both, I'm sure, know the pain, the sad truth of what is probably the most common response, which is absolute crickets. When you send your artwork off and you say, I'd love to collaborate with you. I've got this, and this. I think this would be perfect for your product. And then nothing. And maybe you should send a follow-up and still maybe nothing. How do you stay focused and motivated in times when you're not getting a lot of that feedback that you need?
Okay. Keep your why in mind.
All right. Hey, and I'll come back to it. I love this.
Why am I doing this? Right? So you're sitting here banging your head against the wall like, nobody loves me.
Sometimes it might really be, why am I doing this? Just
that
why.
Too. That too.
Okay.
But remember why you're here, right? Like you're here because it's not easy, right? If it was easy, there'd be a million of us doing this. So it's definitely something you have to pursue. It's something you have to put time and effort into, just like anything else, right? So really, like, why am I here? And then once you when you get that, I mean, you get to the core of that always bring you back. And then on top of that, I had some really good advice actually from a friend of mine who was a pretty successful artist. And she told me when she was getting started that she had sent a lot of pitches out and a lot of inquiries out to companies. And she was starting to get, things are starting to happen and move. And she's like, I just got to the point where I'm so busy and I'm building momentum that I don't have time to sit around and twiddle my thumbs and wait for the phone to ring, right? She's like, there's no time for that. She's like, keep going, build that momentum. Don't stop, because that's when all the negative stuff starts creeping in. Once you slow down, then you're like, and your mind takes over, right? And it's the evil mind takes over and it starts saying all those things like, oh, I'm not good enough. This isn't going to work out. Don't even let that train leave the station. Okay?
No,
so this is the time when you keep moving. So she's like, I made myself so busy that it was like I had a bunch of pitches out that it was like, okay, I haven't heard from you all yet, but I'm talking to you right now. And I'm talking to you right now. Oh, and I'm working on this for these guys. And oh, I'm building a new collection to send out to the next people. So so it's like, keep working. Don't stop. Like you can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. It just, that's where we're at. Totally, I agree. And I was thinking my suggestion for that would probably be change gears a little bit in that, like, work. If you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling unmotivated, it's okay to take a couple weeks off from pitching, work on a new portfolio piece, right? There's always other things. So, just.
And it's a long game. This licensing is not an overnight success.
We
there
haven't
are so
made that
few
clear.
people who do that. So few.
Yes,
you have to keep putting work into it. You have to keep developing art to show. You need, what's next? They're going to ask you, what do you have next?
That's what, last night I was talking to Mabel Tian, who's also a great artist, and she licenses her artwork. And she was saying, what would be your advice to your, like, when you were just starting out? And my advice, which I think would be a sad advice if you were hearing it now, you're like on the edge of your seat, like, oh, she's going to give me some gold. And my advice was like, you have to be patient. I was like, no, I don't want to be patient. I'm ready to be there. But it's seeing those small wins, seeing that step by step, your wins list, and looking at your why, and just knowing that you will get there. You're not necessarily going to be the wildest success in the world, but you can get to a point where you are earning money with your artwork.
For sure.
In the description of all my YouTube videos, I have a link to elizabethsilver.com/fresh, which will take you to sign up for my Surface Pattern Boss Toolkit. Once you sign up, you'll get an email to confirm, and then you'll get the password to get into this toolkit, where you can find all kinds of resources, surface pattern job guide, business advice, all kinds of trend reports, plus bonus videos, and access to the archives from my newsletters, where I have all kinds of cool links and useful creative business advice that you can check out. So I hope you go down to the link and join me. I'd love to have you. And while you're at it, hit subscribe and check out more videos on my channel.